Every day in this life, I find more and more reasons to hate Justin Trudeau. Like, there is such a homeless problem in this country, and all we do is help other countries. I don't get it. I saw the sweetest man at McDonald's, and his sign said, "Down on my luck." Like, why do I feel like this entire country is just down on its luck? It's not fair. It's so sad.
Hi, how are you? I'm Admiral Patrick Eagle, and I live, underneath the Gardner here in Canada. I live in West Hollywood, California, in the States, and I do not have access to my money. But this is where I'm staying right now. It's the smallest military base in the world. I know I might seem crazy, especially it's probably Canadians watching this, and you guys have really huge problems with mental health. But I'm basically staying, I have a tent right here. I put fencing around it. The tent is on top of a bed.
Canada is a great country. Canadians are hard-working people. But lately, under this leader, Justin Trudeau, many Canadians can't find work, many can't afford rent, many can't buy a house, and many can't even pay the basic bills. However, in the meantime, our leader, Justin Trudeau, it seems like he's out to lunch. He doesn't understand what many Canadians are going through.
A sold-out crowd chanted F Trudeau many times at the UFC 297 in Toronto over the weekend. Canadians all over the country are stealing overpriced food items from grocery stores with no remorse in response to the rising food prices and corporate greed. It's estimated that an average-sized grocery store can have between $2,000 and $5,000 worth of groceries stolen per week, leading to higher prices for all customers. Grocery theft has always been a major problem for the industry, but it's now worse than ever before after more than a year of price hikes due to inflation.
Canadians are fed up with food prices, and a lot of that anger is being directed at major grocery chains. For example, a nationwide boycott of Loblaw brands has been trending on social media. The Reddit group Loblaws is out of control says the problem extends to Canada's main grocery chains and shares a list of alternative shopping options. This has become a popular conversation for Calgarians too, with some managing by going to independent grocery stores.
Let me show you guys what I got for $7. Yes, $7. Okay, so here's my little haul.
I'm at one of those grocery stores right now to see how store operators are doing and how they're able to keep prices low.
For fresh produces, we buy local and keep profits low. A lot of these big chain grocers, unfortunately, the last few years, the prices have skyrocketed, and not a lot of places take into consideration the economy and all the price increases. So that's our goal. Our strategy here is to just kind of give back to the community where we can and keep margins low.
That our biggest grocery stores are making record profits while Canadians are struggling to put food on the table. So Minister Champagne will be calling on the heads of large grocers to come to Ottawa with a plan to address the rising cost of food. We expect to hear from them by Thanksgiving on what their plan is to stabilize prices. And let me be very clear. If their plan doesn't provide real relief for the middle class and people working hard to join it, then we will take further action, and we are not ruling anything out, including tax measures.
So if you thought grocery prices are out of control, think about people who can't find a job. Think about how many jobs are automated.
Canadians are struggling to find jobs all across Canada. As someone who has over 5 years experience in customer service, whether it's in fast food or being a sales associate, I myself cannot find a job. So I cannot imagine what it's like for younger people going into the workforce. Companies like McDonald's and Tim Hortons aren't even hiring. Like, they are hiring, but I've had applications rejected not once, but twice, even though I'm overqualified for the job. I honestly don't know how Canadians are making a living. Why is there such a job shortage, and why can't we get hired? There is no reason that fast food companies cannot hire people my age or younger. And this is happening all across Canada. Like, what are we supposed to do? Jobs want experience, yet won't give it to us. So are we just supposed to sit at home all day? It's also ironic because it's the same people that say Gen Z and the younger generation don't want to work, yet you guys are the one hiring us. And we need like 10 plus years of experience and a degree just to work at your shitty part-time job. So make it make sense. What's on?
So I'm in the airport and I see that they have no cashiers at all in any of their airport stores. They all have self-service. There's no cashiers at all. So you definitely need to get in tech because this is just the beginning. I really feel like cashiers have 3 years left at max on just being able to have that as a job, period, right? So if you want to be able to withstand what's coming in the future with automation and just all of these service jobs going away, you're gonna want to learn how to get in tech because somebody has to program all of these different self-checkout machines. Somebody has to program all of this new technology, and technology is around us everywhere. So I know some people are already thinking, well, there's tech layoffs happening every day. That's just one tech sector. It's not everywhere. So if you don't want to get replaced by these, you definitely need to learn tech.
Everybody wants to come to Canada. I get it. But I think everybody also really needs to know that right now there's a job shortage in Canada. It's very hard to get a job, especially in Toronto. There's a lot of people in Toronto, obviously, and you know the job market is really, really crazy right now in Toronto. Of course, there's ways to get jobs. There are job agencies, like, you know, there's still people hiring, but it's very competitive. So a lot of people move in Canada or want to, like, you know, come to Canada. They got to know that. Try to get a job or find a job before you come. But if you don't, try to have some funds, some backup funds, because it can take anywhere from 2 to 6 months to find a good job or to find a, you know, a job that's going to like pay the bills and all that. So try to come with some savings. And also don't be discouraged because, like, you know, you got to look for a bit, but eventually, like, everybody finds, you know, a job to pay the bills. So if you come to Canada, just know that before you come.
Someone come take me back home. Wallahi, guys, I'm talking for real. Wallahi billah, I'm talking for real. Someone come take me back home. Guys, look, guys. Guys, wallahi, boy, I can't even see the street. I can't even see where's my house. Look behind me. Atubijakum, please. Please, Asmara, come take me, please. Please, come someone take me, please, guys. Guys, wallahi, boy, I'm tired of this weather, boy. I'm tired of Canada, boy. Atubijakum. Oh, wee. Atubijakum, Canada is not sweet, my friend. Look where I am. Canada is not sweet. I swear to God, it's not sweet. You guys, you think it's sweet? It's not sweet. In winter, it's not sweet. Yo, please, sir, can you take me back home, please? What? Can you drive me home? No, where do you live? I live just down there. Please, I can't even see the street.
I know, you gotta walk backwards. I'm going to Barricade.
You see? Go on.
How can you gain equity if you can't buy a property? How can you pass down wealth to the next generation if you can't buy any assets?
If you thought finding a rental is hard now, look what this says. It says Canada's shortage of rental housing could quadruple by year 2026. They're saying that without a significant boost in rental stock, Canada's rental housing gap could exceed 120,000 rentals by year 2026, which is quadrupling the current deficit. So we are currently already short rentals. They're saying that although Canada's building the most purpose-built rentals now, fastest since 2014, that we are still short, and we are going to continue to be short because of immigration. A lot of people are coming into this country. 32% of them are coming into cities like Toronto, the greater Toronto area. And then places like Montreal are also getting hit. So if you think that it's difficult to find a rental now, in the next few years, it's only going to become harder. Just giving you the heads up. Don't shoot the messenger.
Canada is officially running out of houses, and renters are the ones paying the bill. Check this out. Canada's population growth is now exceeding housing completions by 40%. This is causing a housing shortage like we have never seen before, with CMHC saying we need at least $1 trillion to achieve housing affordability. And while house prices have somewhat stabilized due to interest rate hikes, our rental market, however, has become completely unaffordable. Take a look at how crazy some of these rent prices are getting. This 2-bed, 2-bath unit just leased out for $500 over the the asking price. And this 2-bedroom unit in the downtown core just leased out for $4,200. What's crazy, if you look at the listing history, someone had just leased out this same unit 5 months ago for $700 less. This means that rents are climbing at close to $100 a month. And if you want to look back even further, it gets even crazier. This same unit leased out for $1,600 less only 2 years ago. This chart shows our population growth in relation to housing completions. As we can see, in the past 10 years, it has absolutely exploded and tenants are paying the price. What's essentially happening is the country's just running out of houses because we're not building fast enough to keep up. Some solutions that have been brought up have been to focus on modular housing to get homes completed faster and cheaper, while others say that we need to reduce taxes on new housing, which the government is starting to do by removing GST off of new rental apartments. Do you guys have any solutions to fix this, or is it just time to go live somewhere else?
90% of Canadians won't qualify for the average home in Canada because the average home costs $754,000 and the minimum income required is $180,000, and obviously 90% of Canadians are not making $180,000. However, the other side of this equation that's never talked about is that the average household net worth is $738,000, meaning that the average household could buy an average Canadian home almost outright cash. And the median net worth is $330,000, meaning even if you only had the median, you could put down 50%, meaning that you're taking out a mortgage of roughly $400,000, which that minimum income would suffice. So you always hear people talk about price to income ratios, and that's basically why we're in a bubble, is the price to income ratio, but nobody ever talks about how much wealth Canadians actually have. Because if we were to run some type of scenario where the median average household income, or whatever this says, is actually putting down their net worth on the home, well, now the minimum income required would actually be a whole lot less. And yeah, you could say that not every person wants to put down their entire net worth on their principal residence, but then I also think it's not fair to assume that they're only going to put down the minimum amount of cash to get the minimum income required. And no, I'm not saying that Canadian real estate is cheap. I'm just saying that it's probably untrue to say that 90% of Canadians won't qualify for the average home in Canada, because a good portion of those Canadians are going to be putting down more than the minimum down payment.
People, the struggle is real.
Imagine being mayor of a town and you can't afford to live there. Yep, that's the story of this mayor from a small town in Ontario who's been making headlines because she makes a great salary, but she can't afford to buy a home in her own township. Ouch. 28-year-old Natasha Salonen, who is the mayor of Wilmot, a rural town in southwestern Ontario, lives with her parents while she pays off her university debt. Now, since becoming mayor in 2022, Salonen takes home a salary of almost, get this, $90,000 and still can't secure housing in the municipality she leads. It's just another example of how bad Canada's housing crisis has become.
Two Canadian cities are on a global list of the most expensive real estate markets. Can you guess which ones made the cut? The report analyzed 94 markets in 8 countries, and the results are based on what the average person can afford. Each city was scored by dividing the average house price in a city by its gross median household income. Here's where Canadian cities ranked. Edmonton was the cheapest Canadian city, labeled moderately unaffordable. Calgary was seriously unaffordable. Ottawa and Montreal were severely unaffordable. And 2 were in the impossible territory, a new category. Toronto ranked 11th most unaffordable in the world, and Vancouver was 3rd.
Now, house prices are up all over Canada. And that's not even the worst.
What do you think about Canada accepting 1 million immigrants every year? Do you think it's suitable?
I think the current immigration policy, I think there are too many immigrants coming into Canada currently. I think a lot of immigrants are not fleeing from war, and I think a lot are just coming to Canada because it does have better opportunities. However, that means Canadians who were born and raised here are not getting the opportunities they should be. And I think that Canada could keep accepting war immigrants and whatnot, and people that need humanitarian aid. However, at this point, there's too many immigrants coming into Canada, causing housing prices to go up because Trudeau is slowing down permits to build more houses, and he's allowing more immigrants to come. So more people, less houses, higher prices for homes. So I think that we should slow down immigration, and it needs to be reworked.
As always, we have to do what's right for the country, right? So housing is an issue. People are coming here and they're not able to find housing or afford housing. These are things that have to be, looked at and adjusted, because it has to make sense for the country and for the economy. That's the most important thing.
Okay, someone please explain to me why no one in Canada hates Indian immigrants more than Indian immigrants. I'm back in Canada after a year, and I guess there's been a big influx of Indian immigrants, and because of that, there's been a lot of like racism now towards them. Like, you could literally open up any 6plus article, even if it's not related to the students or immigrants. It could be like Gardner Expressway flooding because of rain, and for some reason the top 10 comments are like, it's because of the Indians. But always mixed in with those white racist comments are Indian racist comments. What's up with that? At first I thought it was just one post, but I started seeing a trend, and it's so funny, like it's all the same. There's this comment underneath a video of like 6 dancing at Young and Dundas, all problems with Canada in one video. Brother, your name is Varun Sharma. And I've spoken to a couple as well. They'll be like, oh, these guys are ruining our reputation, man. We have built for 20 years and now they are just coming and ruining it. And because of this, it's becoming a feedback loop. The other day I was talking to one dude and he's like, yeah, bro, these immigrants are getting out of control. He had been in the country for 8 months. The only piece of advice I have to give to people like that, siding with the wolves will not save you when it's time to get eaten.
And then the number of people who will be on a study permit that's expiring. So those who are expiring the end of December 2025, how many of them will actually leave? Are you saying 100% will be expected to leave, or are you going to send CBSA to chase all 766,000?
You know that is not what happens. There are a number of things that occur. Some people actually get renewals. Some people get postgraduate work permits and stay a longer period. And we do work with CBSA to monitor these things. And when Statistics Canada reports on these, they take into account a whole variety of factors in estimating how many people are here and how many people have left.
There's actually controversy right now around Indians in Canada.
Why?
Because there's so many of us here. Like, here's the thing about Indians. They really stick together. So like, if you go to Tim Hortons here, odds are every employee is Indian. Because an Indian person will work there, they'll work their way up, become the manager, and then just hire Indian people. Hire their family, their cousins.
See, I didn't know that. Actually, when I landed in Vancouver, I was so shocked at like the airport was just like all Asians.
Yeah. The city's Asian as hell.
And it's very different from like East Coast, like JFK or whatever, you know?
Is there lots of Asians?
No, it's the opposite.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
And I feel like I haven't been to the west coast of Canada in so long that I like forgot how many Indians and just Asians in general there are. It's just like we're the majority.
Now, people, can you imagine this? With all of this economic pressure, Justin Trudeau just nod and wave. Just nod and wave.
People in Canada, am I the only one that's recognizing this? Justin Trudeau is going around, whether it's Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, wherever he goes. But all you're hearing is, get the f out of my country. You're ruining this country. I hate you. You're all type of stuff. And he's just like, hi guys. How you doing, guys? Hope all is well. I'm like, damn, that guy is sick. Imagine having all that hate blasting at you consistently, and you just acting like it's all love. Hi, guys. How you doing? Yo, I guess he didn't feel drama. It's just interesting, but it's funny to me. It's kind of crazy. It's not really funny, but yeah, this is what it's come to, Canada.
The main takeaway from this new poll, 69% of Canadians feel Prime Minister Justin Trudeau should resign in 2024. Ipsos took a slightly different approach and asked people to share their opinions as to why they feel that way in their own words. And the reasoning broke down into 2 camps.
70% of Canadians saying that a prime minister should go is really high, but it's a mix of things. It's not just, I don't like this person or I don't like what he's done. There's other people who are kind of thinking that, any change is a good change. And then there's another group of people who are saying, in order to position the Liberal Party for the next election, because I can't vote for Poilievre and I can't vote for Singh, I need another option on the Liberal bench.
As high as that 69% number may be, Ipsos also found that almost as many people don't expect Trudeau to go anywhere. 63% of respondents think it's not likely that he will resign ahead of the next election.
Now, so do all Canadians hate you?
Yes, they do.
Good, just
Yes,
make
they
sure
do.
you know.
That
we do
might
here.
be part of why I'm here.
Exactly. Is that because you literally shut down people's bank accounts in 2022 like a dictator might?
Well, as many know, my real father is Fidel Castro, one of the greatest authoritarians of the 20th century.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I mean, people in Canada really hate me. I'd be surprised if my approval rating was over 20% at this point.
So what's next for you? There's an election in Canada coming up next year, right?
They're trying to call one sooner, as again, people really hate me from coast to coast. My plan is to delay until next year and then get absolutely smoked in the election and then focus on my true passion of doing various types of brown and blackface. I really want to explore the medium.
Dictator Justin Trudeau, everyone.
For 2 months, starting December 14th, we're going to remove the GST, HST from groceries, 100% of groceries, all groceries. We're going to remove the GST from restaurant meals, takeouts, fast food. Removing the GST from beer and wine. Removing the GST for essentials like kids' clothing, footwear, diapers, and toys. All tax-free. We also know that there's more we need to do, particularly for working Canadians. So if you worked in 2023 and earned up to $150,000, we're going to be sending you a check for $250 in just a few months.
I think Justin just did such a masterful, mischievous job of punking people. He's so good at it. Like when I was being punked, I had no idea because he was so good at like putting on this whole fake situation and making it seem real. You know, and if he got, I didn't see him get slimed tonight, but I heard he got slimed, which I guess I'm a little happy to hear about that.
Honestly, people, after you watch all of those testimonials and see the concern for many Canadians, I understand the struggles, how the economy is turning down now that Trump threatened to put 25% tariffs. And drop your comments, tell me what you think. Is Canada the place that you want to raise a family? Drop your comments, like, share, and subscribe. And definitely tell me what you think.